Hello, and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin. We are looking at AMD once again. What's so interesting here, and what I find to be so fascinating, is essentially that AMD, while it's in the hottest sector on the entire planet, which is AI chips, because everybody knows that they need that, the thing doesn't get the bid. I mean, it essentially hit its peak here in June. It's essentially been down and to the right ever since. The thing has not been able to reclaim $100 since what, the middle of September. Essentially, what it looks like though is that we've essentially gone bearish. I mean, we're positive on the 1 day. Yes, we hit 2.20%, but this thing has a negative 83% correlation to the VIX. So we will really need to see the VIX actually hit the top of its range and fall for this thing to rally. But look at the actual raw data. What we'll see here on the daily is that actually this is the weekly. If you look at the weekly, it's even worse. I mean, this thing gave a go short on the weekly back in August at 102. It has been essentially flipping between bearish and bullish on the short term for the weekly. And we're going to go ahead and look at the individual. Let's look at the daily here. So the daily data, what we can see here is that essentially we have been falling ever since the 15th. It's only gotten worse. We still have blue lettering with the blue background with the black lettering, which means that we are 2 standard deviations below its 23-day moving average. We are below the 5-day moving average. Actually, we just got back up above it. Congratulations, AMD shareholders. The one problem I still will say is that your 5-day moving average is below your 23-day moving average, and your 23-day moving average is still above $100. It's at 103.57, which we are nowhere near that. I mean, we're closer than we were, but not by much. If we look here at the overall volume, it does look like we got over 50 million shares traded today. We haven't seen a huge increase. It looks like you've essentially been staying around like 45 to 52 million shares traded or so. It does look like we're seeing volatility is falling. It looks like volatility is about to start breaking out. The volatility is about to start rising. The price has been on a price to fall path for a while based on that correlation. Again, the 1 day is positive, but the 5-day, 15-day, 1 month, and 3 month are all negative. The 6 month is still positive, but barely as of yesterday. That thing was at 9 basis points positive. That thing falls anymore, and you're going to have a flip on the 6 month. Not a good look, AMD. Look at the signals. You have a go short in the short term, intermediate term, and longer term. We look at the trend indicator. We've got bearish in the short term, intermediate term, and longer term as well. Those are very interesting setups when you think about what AMD is and what it represents, because NVIDIA also is showing some weakness. We've got a falling bear here in the rolling trend. It looks like we're at 40.99% today on the 10-day rolling bullishness. We'll be at 45%. We'd love to see this break back up above here. This is at 47 right now. We'd love to see it break back up above the 50%, and the green bars get above that black line, which is the 15-day moving average, boys and girls. If we look here at the trading signals, what we can tell right away is that we have no bear key 3. We've got no bull key 3. All we have is big bears and some small bears. Nothing really to pay attention to in AMD space because it's essentially been lifeless. It's essentially been left for dead. I'm really surprised that we find ourselves here because AI has been the hottest topic of 2023. But it appears that AMD has not gotten the bid. You can even see on the daily sentiment, it's essentially gone lifeless. Like it hit a low here in July and essentially it's just gone lifeless and down. I mean, the high here was back again in May, and then it's essentially been doing nothing. The volume, it spiked back in May, right? It spiked in August, spiked in July and June, and it's essentially been down to the right, just like the price. If we look at the volatility, this is interesting because the volatility has reaccelerated as it was starting to trend down from a 5. Now it's even breaking out higher. The correlation, it looks like it's starting to roll over, which is even more concerning. The correlation is positive, but rolling over while the volatility is breaking out. So right now you're going to get a still move higher in the price because volatility is breaking out while correlation is still positive. The correlation is turning over, which means that you're going to see some very aggressive moves to the downside if that continues. Top of the range is at 115. The bottom of the range is diving lower at 92.43. The only thing that might actually make this a little bit more comfortable, if you look at the weekly, the bottom is at 86, the top is at 133. You're getting very close to the bottom on the weekly. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And before you go, subscribe to the New High newsletter. We send you 25 stocks to your inbox every single Sunday. Stocks between $5 and $20 that are breaking out. Stocks breaking out to 1-year highs. Stocks breaking out to all-time highs. It is a great list to get your trading week started. I'll talk to you soon.